ladies, Carly here. Today for practice, we will be focusing on the root chakra, which in Sanskrit is called Muladhara. And I think this is an invaluable time to check in with our energy centers, being that we're in these historic times of the pandemic and an intense political climate, and there's a lot going on. So it's important that we check in with our own nervous systems and notice if we are operating from a place of dysregulation. And if we are, to check in with that and bring some awareness to our bodies and how we are responding to the world and to others, and work towards moving into a more regulated state and balancing the body, mind, and spirit. So for our class today, a strap will be helpful. If you don't have a strap, you could also substitute it out with a scarf or a belt, and this will be used more towards the end of practice, so you can just have it towards the back of the mat. And we're going to get started with a little centering and grounding breathing exercise. So we'll come into a seat for that, and if you have a blanket or a block that you'd like to sit up on, you're welcome to elevate the seat a bit with that. And before we get into the breathing, I just want to take a moment to allow for you to check in with the state of your root chakra. So Muladhara in Sanskrit breaks up into two words, Mula meaning root and Adhara meaning base or support. So all the chakras are equally important, they're all interconnected, but the root chakra is so important for the fact that it's the base or the foundation for the entire chakra system. So if there's an imbalance in the root, it's likely that there's an imbalance elsewhere. Here at the root is also where the fight or flight mechanism is initiated. So this is when the sympathetic nervous system is turned on due to a trigger, fear. Many things can initiate this response. So we are really going to work with activating the parasympathetic nervous system today and moving out of that fight, flight, or sometimes freeze response as well. So if you are feeling currently any sense of fatigue, lethargy, you might feel a sense of defeat, you might be more towards the imbalance side. You likely are, which is okay. There also might be a feeling of being scatterbrained or having difficulty in getting things done. And then if you're more on the balanced end of the spectrum, you feel emotionally stable, you feel grounded and calm in the face of adversity or emotional turmoil. So that means you have your coping mechanisms ready and they're pretty honed in. And there's also a sense of feeling grounded while at the same time being free and having heightened energy levels. So that's if you're balanced, and as I mentioned before, if you're feeling fatigued and those other descriptions, you might be imbalanced. Wherever you are on the spectrum, maybe somewhere in the middle, maybe somewhere leaning towards one side more than the other, please meet yourself with compassion and love and acceptance always, and know that with intention and awareness, we'll move to a more balanced, harmonious state. So now that we got that out of the way, please come into easy seat if you haven't already. Rest your hands on your lap. Roll the shoulder heads up and then slide the shoulder blades down the back. And allow the eyes to softly close. Start by taking some free breaths, allowing the breath to move where it naturally wants to. Sit up nice and tall and feel rooted through both sitting bones. Now please bring your awareness to the base of your spine and visualize a glowing ball of rich red, like a burgundy or a Merlot colored ball of energy. And keeping the awareness here at the base of the spine. On the inhale, move the awareness up the midline of the body to the crown. And with the exhale, travel the awareness along the midline of the body back to the root, back to the base of the spine. Inhale, the breath and prana moves up to the crown. Exhale, breath and prana move down the body, back to the base of the spine. And continue to deepen and stretch your breath pattern. And keep the awareness in this orbiting pattern. The function of the root chakra is security, survival, and stability as it relates to our home, our family, our community, our country, and globally. In your practice today, I'd like you to keep coming back to recognizing your connection to the earth through your body parts. And with those connections, focus on taking in fresh, nourishing energy from Mother Earth, perhaps on the inhalations. And with the exhalations, consciously release and let go of tension, fears, worries, and uncertainty, and practice surrendering to those things that are out of your control. If you'd like to incorporate a mantra into your practice today, you might repeat to yourself 2 or 3 times. I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. Breathe in the grounding energy from Mother Earth. Breathe out tension, strain, fears. One more orbiting breath. Inhale, breathing up to the crown, lengthening the spine. Exhale, breathing down the spine, back to the root, connecting to the earth. Please open your eyes softly, unite your palms at heart center. Take a deep breath in as you lift your sternum toward your thumbs. Exhale, interlace the fingers and flip the palms forward. Tuck the chin to the chest, pull the navel towards the spine, and keep pressing the palms away from your chest. Inhale, extend the spine straight up. Palms press upward towards the sky, sides of the neck are long. Exhale, take it up and over to the right in a lateral bend. Anchor down through the left hip and rotate the left shoulder back slightly. Inhale, restack the vertebra. Exhale, take it up and over to the left, grounding and anchoring through that right hip. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, release the arms beside your body. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, hands to heart, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward, round the back. Extend the spine and the arms go high overhead on the inhale. Exhale, take it up and over to the right in lateral flexion. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. Inhale, realign the spinal column. Exhale, release the arms beside you. One more round. This time we'll hold for a few breaths. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, interlace the fingers, round the spine, firm the low belly in. And take a couple deep breaths here, sending the breath to the backs of the lungs. Feel the opening through the inner arms as you press the heels of the hands forward. Slowly begin to tilt the pelvis forward, arms go high overhead for the inhale. Exhale, take it up and over to the right, this time to hold. So right shoulder comes slightly forward of the left. As you root down through the left hip, feel that stretch and opening from the left hip all the way up into the left armpit. Breath is smooth. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, up and over to the left we go. Breathe all the way up into the right rib cage, right armpit. Relax at the base of your neck. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, release the arms beside your body and just pause for a moment as you feel the fresh blood come back into the arms and hands. Notice the sensations in your body. And then please make your way forward to your hands and knees, tabletop position. Find stability here by stacking the shoulders over the wrist creases. Hip bones are over the kneecaps. Fingers spread wide. Let's start to warm the spine up a bit through some cat-cows. Micro bend the elbows. Inhale, sway the spine forward, lifting the tail and the sternum. Exhale, engage the abdominals. Press the earth away. Tuck the chin to the chest and curl the tailbone down towards the backs of the knees. Inhale, finding a back bend. Squeeze the armpits back towards the ribs. Exhale, round the spine, lifting through the back of the heart. Once more, inhale, belly drops. Think of lengthening the neck rather than bending it, so there's a slight tuck of the chin. Exhale, round the back. Root down through the palms. And then begin to find some organic movement. So maybe that means continuing with the cat-cows, or perhaps taking some circles or figure eights in the hips. And just begin to move with curiosity and exploration, feeling into your body, keeping those smooth, deep breaths. And then slowly make your way back through center. Curl the toes underneath you just to get a little stretch into the feet and ankles. And begin to sit the hips back on top of the heels. Walk the hands forward, coming into extended child's pose or balasana. The forehead and the forearms will rest on the mat. And allow your body to completely relax here. Notice how it feels to be held and supported by the earth beneath you. And think of surrendering all your weight your entire being into that support beneath you. And the invitation for your practice today is to welcome this balance of support and surrender in each shape. Breathing in the energy from Mother Earth. Breathing out the worries, doubts, stressors, fears. Let's take one more rich breath in and out. Slowly begin to lift the gaze. Look between the thumbs. Shift the shoulders over the wrists and straighten the legs, coming into plank pose. As you press back through the heel bones, feel a nice stretch into the calf muscles. Quads are engaged as you lift the kneecaps, and arms are strong as you root into the palms. There's a slight external rotation through the arms as you rotate the triceps back towards the hips and shine the collarbones forward. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale as you lift the hips and walk the feet in a bit, coming into downward facing dog. Give a deep bend to your right knee and stretch your left heel down. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee and soften the right heel towards the mat. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, switch, bend right knee, straighten left. Hold, inhale. And exhale, switch one more time. Take a breath in. And then on the exhale, give a soft bend to both knees. Roll the inner thighs towards the wall behind you. Send the hips back away from the shoulders. And feel the extension and space in your spine. Earlobes draw towards the thumbs as you lengthen the neck. And the gaze is soft between the feet, calves, or maybe knees. Inhale, look forward, shift to plank once more. On the exhale, set the knees down to the mat, slowly bend the elbows. Use the strength of your arms and your core to lower down to the earth. Untuck the toes so you're grounded through the tops of the feet. And walk the hands back so they're in line with the middle of the ribs. Engage the quadriceps, feel the knees hover off the mat. Press the tailbone down towards the heels. Inhale, lift the heart and head, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, lower chest and third eye to the mat. Twice more with the breath. Inhale, peel up, one vertebra at a time, reaching through the crown. Exhale, lower chest and third eye. Quads and glutes stay engaged. Inhale, peel up once more. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up, hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take one full breath cycle here. Then please open the feet wider than the hips and start to walk the hands all the way back towards the feet. Turn the toes out, the heels in for Malasana or garland pose. So as you drop the hips down, the fingertips can stay grounded in front of you, or you could bring the hands to the heart center. This is a very grounding and centering pose, being that we're so close to the earth. So feel the connection through the 3 points of contact in each foot, the heel bone, the big toe joint, and the little toe joint. And we're strengthening the low back and the ankles here. Use the gentle pressure of the elbows against the inner knees to open through the inner hips and thighs. I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable in doing so. And you might come back to that orbiting breath pattern, keeping the awareness at the base of the spine. Inhale, moving the awareness up to the crown. Exhale, feeling the breath and prana move down the body, back to the base of the spine. Let's take 2 more breaths just like that. Beautiful. Open the eyes, release the fingertips, lift the hips and turn the toes in so that the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Inhale, extend the spine coming into a halfway lift. You can stay on fingertips or slide the hands up the shins. Exhale, bend the knees and fold as you grab opposite elbow for ragdoll pose. Welcome a little sway in side to side. Relieve the back of tension. And we're getting just a little stretch into the hamstrings, but keep a soft bend to the knees so that the focus is more on decompressing the back. Make your way back through center, release the fingertips down. Keeping a nice bend to the knees, begin to roll up through the spine. Head and arms hang heavy until you reach the top. Once you do, lift the shoulder heads up by the ears, slide the shoulder blades down the back, and rotate the palms forward. Please close the eyes for a moment and unite the palms at heart center. Tadasana helps us arrive in the present moment and be grounded in the here and now. Notice the stability and structure of your body. Feel the strength within as you squeeze your leg muscles to your bones, pressing down through the heel bones, the big toe joints, and the little toe joints, and lifting through those inner arches. Feeling the support of the earth beneath your feet. Can you simultaneously welcome in a sense of surrender? Surrender to the things that are out of your control. There is a calm acceptance that follows this conscious surrender. Please release the arms, open the eyes, and walk forward to the top of your mat. We'll get warm through some Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A, with a slight variation today that's a little bit more grounding. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale, extend the arms up, take a baby back bend. Squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, hands to heart center to fold and bow the head. Inhale, extend the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Feel the engagement of the body, heart is open. Hold for the inhale here. On the exhale, set the knees to the mat. Extend the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Rest the forehead on the mat. Hold for a full breath. Inhale, shift forward back to plank pose. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. You might even welcome in another form of the orbiting breath. This time visualizing the breath moving up from the earth, through the palms, through the arms, all the way to the hips on the inhale. And on the exhale, visualize the breath moving down the hips, legs, out the soles of the feet, back to Mother Earth. So on the inhale, the breath travels underneath the mat, back to the palms, up the arms, to the hips. Exhale, breath and prana moving down the legs, out the soles of the feet, back to the earth. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward to prepare the ascent. Exhale, bend the knees. You can walk, step, or maybe hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Hands through heart center as you rise on the inhale, baby back bend at the top. Exhale, hands return to heart center, Samastitihi. 2 more rounds. Inhale, extend the arms, little back bend, pelvis forward, heart up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale, extend the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step all the way back, plank pose. Hold for a full inhale. Exhale, lower knees, hips reach back to the heels, child's pose, full breath. Inhale, begin to come back to plank pose. Exhale, lift the hips, stretch the heels down. 3 breaths in down dog with an option to come back to that orbiting breath here in down dog. It just adds a little creativity to the breath and also helps keep the mind with each breath and staying in the present. Let's take 1 more round. Lift the heels, inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend knees. Make your way forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees around the back to fold. Hands through heart center as you rise on the inhale, little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands return to the heart. Last round, inhale, extend the arms, little opening through the chest, hips forward. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step to plank. Full inhale. Exhale, knees lower to the earth, hips back to the heels. Rest the forearms and forehead and take a breath. Inhale, look forward, shift to plank. Exhale, lift the hips and soften the heels down for downward dog. Please walk the feet a little bit closer together. On the inhale, raise the right leg high to the sky, keeping the right hip bone rotated down so the pelvis is level. Exhale, shift the shoulders over the wrist, pull the knee in towards the nose, round the back, squeeze the navel in and up. Inhale, back to 3-legged down dog, reaching out through the heel. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders come over the wrists, pull the abs in. 1 more time, inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, round the spine. Look forward this time, inhale. Step the foot all the way through on the exhale. Left knee will lower down to the mat, untuck the back toes. We'll start with some dynamic movements and then we'll hold in our low lunge. So fingertips will ground to frame the foot. On the inhale, sink the hips down, roll the spine up so it's a slight back bend or extension of the spine. Exhale, straighten the right leg, round the back, flex the right ankle into a half splits. Inhale, bend the knee, descend the hips, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten the leg, hinge at the hips. Try to bring the forehead towards the knee. Couple more times. Moving at your own pace. Beautiful, then coming back to your low lunge, drive through the right heel, take it all the way up, Anjaneyasana. And today for Anjaneyasana, I want you to sink the hips down a little bit further and just ensure that this knee is over the ankle or slightly behind it We just don't want the knee over the ankle or past it. We do want it over, I meant past it. That strains the ligaments in the knee when the knee is pressing forward. So find some stability here through the inner thighs, the adductor muscles, and think of squeezing the legs into the midline so you're lifting up a bit through the pelvic floor. Take another breath in, growing a little bit taller through the spine. On the exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together, open across the chest. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, lower hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes, straighten the left leg, and send the right leg all the way back up, three-legged down dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee laterally, open the hip up as you scorpion your toe. And start to create some circles with the right kneecap, creating a little bit more mobility and range of motion into that right hip socket. And then gently reverse the direction of your circles. Make sure that right shoulder is level with the left. Inhale, extend the right leg long, lower the right hip down. Exhale, return the right foot next to the left. Again, keeping the feet closer together. Let's take a breath here in down dog. And second side, inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, shift the shoulders forward, knee to nose, chin to chest. Pull the abs in and up. Inhale, lift the hips and left leg high. Exhale, shoulders over wrists, round the back. Jalandhara Bandha, so there's a slight tuck of the chin, compressing the thyroid. One more time, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, round the back, hug it in. This time, look forward, lift the hips, step the foot through between the hands, and lower the right knee down. Untuck the back toes and come onto the fingertips. Inhale, hips down, heart up. Exhale, straighten the left leg, flex the ankle, round the back. Inhale, bend the knee, hips down, pull the shoulder blades softly away from the ears. Exhale to straighten the leg, ankle flexes, back rounds. Take it a couple more times on your own. And the next time your left knee bends, keep it bent. And again, we're coming into a little bit of a deeper low lunge today. So you might walk that foot a bit more forward than you normally do. Root through the left heel bone as you take yourself up. Arms extend overhead. So as I mentioned, the root chakra is associated with that fight or flight response, the sympathetic nervous system, which is our response to stress, to danger, to a threat. So the quadriceps and the hip flexors, where we're stretching right now on the right side, these muscles are activated when this fight or flight mechanism is stimulated. So as we stretch and breathe into this area of the body, focus on transforming any residual fight or flight energy into calm yet courageous inner strength. Let's take another full inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the elbows slightly behind your chest if it's accessible today. Squeeze the elbows down and back. Shoulder blades draw together. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands lower all the way down to the mat. Curl the right toes, straighten the right leg. Inhale, left leg high. Again, three-legged dog. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee, laterally open the hip up. Again, start to create some circles with the left kneecap, lubricating the hip socket with synovial fluid through these movements. And also getting a stretch into the left psoas. Let's reverse the direction of the circles. Inhale, extend the left leg long, level the pelvis. Exhale, return the left foot to the mat, downward dog. Great work, yogis. Let's take a breath in and a deep breath out. Lift the heels, look forward, inhale. Bend the knees, walk, step, or hop forward. Feet will come hips width distance when you get there. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten the back. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Now bend the knees a lot as you sink back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Feel the weight distribute back to the heels. Inner thighs roll down towards the mat and move the entire pelvic girdle towards the back of the mat. Let's get a little bit closer to the earth here. Hold for an inhale, maybe exaggerating the back bend, lifting the heart. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fly the arms back behind you. Turn the palms down so you're externally rotating the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades into the midline and think of reaching past the fingertips. 2 strengthening breaths right here. Feel the heat building. 1 more breath. Awesome work. Stand all the way up. Inhale, arms go high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause. Notice the heat you felt. Notice the rate of your heartbeat. Notice the depth of your breathing. Maybe coming back to that mantra if you'd like to use it in practice today. Repeating to yourself, I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. Arms release, eyes open. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands through heart to fold forward. Inhale, extend the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms back to that variation of our Sun A that we already took. Hold for an inhale in plank pose. Lower knees, sit the hips back to the heels. Exhale, child's pose. Take a breath. Feel the support beneath you. Then slowly lift the gaze. Inhale to plank. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, raise the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot and give a little bend to the left knee. With a strong core, rise up, high crescent lunge. Then today, let's hook the thumbs overhead. Spread the fingers wide. Keeping the thumbs connected, try and pull apart the hands. On the inhale, lengthen the back. Exhale, lateral flexion to the right. So just a little lateral bend, opening the left side body. Keep dropping the right hip bone down, finding space in the right waist. Inhale, slowly come up through center. Bring the hands to the hips. And step the left foot in just about a footprint. So now you're in a warrior one stance. So the feet should be about hips width distance. The front knee is still bent. Back leg is engaged. And then the hands will interlace behind the low back. Slide the knuckles along the back of the thigh. Open the heart for the inhale. Exhale, humble warrior. The torso comes inside of the right thigh. Bow the head. See if you can keep the palms glued together. Maybe the thumbs stay at the low back today. Maybe you start to lift the thumbs away from the back and slightly overhead. Actively hug the outer right hip into the midline. Let the torso hang heavy just inside of the thigh. Slowly begin to lower the hands all the way down to the mat. Frame the foot. Step the left foot a little further back and return to plank pose. Hold for an inhale here. Your choice to set the knees down, or for a little bit more of a challenge, legs stay straight as you bend the elbows and come down to the belly. Open the arms out wide. Squeeze the legs together. Engage the quadriceps and the glutes. Anchor down through the pubic bone, and on the inhale, lift the chest, arms, and legs. Full locust pose, Shalabhasana. Think of expanding the body in all directions. Notice if you're straining the eyes or the muscles around the eyes. Try to lead with the nose rather than the eyes. One more inhale, lifting up a little bit higher. Exhale, lower down to the mat, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Let's take a breath here. Second side, inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, step the foot through. Give a micro bend to the right knee, stay on the ball with the foot. Take your time as you lift up into high crescent. As you drop the hips down, lift the back ribs away from the pelvis. Hook the thumbs overhead. Take an inhale, lift through the crown. Exhale, up and over to the left we go in a little lateral bend. Notice how that left hip, maybe it wants to hike up a little bit higher than the right. Actively roll the outer left thigh open. Slowly come up through center, inhale. Hands return to the hips on the exhale, and you'll step the back foot in so that the heel drops down now, and you're in a warrior one stance. Find some depth into the left knee, and let's interlace the fingers the non-dominant way behind the back. Slowly find a little back bend, knuckles draw down the back of the leg, lift the sternum, inhale. Humble yourself on the exhale, coming close to the earth. Bow the head. Maybe the knuckles stay towards the low back. If you'd like more of a shoulder and chest opener, begin to lift the hands away from the spine. Squeeze the outer left leg into the midline. Notice if you're straining the neck, trying to keep the head up. Can you let go of your head? We hold it up all day long. This is a great opportunity to just let the weight hang down. Let gravity do the work. Slowly return the hands to the mat, framing the foot, and step back into plank pose once more. Hold for an inhale. Your choice. Legs can stay extended for more heat, or set the knees down if you're feeling fatigued. Slowly bend the elbows, come down to the earth. This time we'll take bound locust pose. Interlace the hands behind the low back. Squeeze the palms together. Engage the quads again. Inhale, slowly lift chest and head. Now again, you can keep the thumbs towards the buttocks or the low back. Maybe you start to squeeze the shoulder blades using the rhomboids and lifting the hands a little bit away from the back. Option to keep the legs grounded or hover them as well. Pubic bone is anchored, heart elevating, toes reaching. One more breath here. Exhale, lower everything down. Hands plant under the shoulders. This time, press back, child's pose. Maybe a wide knee child's pose this time. Pelvis is heavy towards the heels. And again, you're letting the entire body surrender. Letting all of your weight go. Feeling held by the earth. We have one more little standing sequence to go. So slowly make your way up to your hands and knees, then curl the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, raise the right leg high. Exhale, step the foot all the way through, spin the left heel down for warrior two, and slowly rise. So the spine will come upright right over the pelvis. Arms expand open into a T. Gaze will move over the right middle finger. And I'd like you to really embody the fierce warrior that you are. What better pose than this one than to find your power, harness it, feel the strength within. Challenge yourself as you find a little more depth into the right knee. Ensure that the knee is stacked over the middle of the ankle. Sometimes it wants to bow in. Then please flip the right palm, take it up and overhead into a lateral bend. And then you'll give a bend to the right elbow, bringing the hand behind the head. Now imagine the wall is right behind you. We're not taking a back bend here, it's lateral flexion. So you're lifting the elbow up towards the heavens. That left hand is gently atop the back of the thigh, but you're actively reaching out of the left waist. Take one more breath in. And on the exhale, lower the right elbow down to the right thigh. Left arm extends up and overhead, extended side angle. Feel rooted through the pinky edge side of that left foot. This quadricep is strong and engaged, and you're opening up the left hip on top of the right. Little rotation through the upper thoracic spine as you turn the left ribs on top of the left. One more breath in. Exhale, windmill left hand down. Both hands come inside of the right foot. Turn the right toes out at a slight angle. Sit the hips down, keeping them elevated, and the hands will turn towards the long side of the mat for Skandasana. If you have blocks, you're welcome to use them under the hands or under the seat. Activate this left quad and think of lifting up through the inner thighs. So this is Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor lock. So you're squeezing those inner legs, lifting up a bit so that we're not just sinking into the ligaments. Option to keep the hands grounded or right fingertips come outside of the right toes and left arm goes high. Option to keep the arms open or internally rotate the arms and maybe swim them behind the back. Perhaps the fingertips connect. Maybe they're nowhere near each other, and that's totally fine. Please don't force a bind or any shape that creates pain. Turn that left shoulder open if you do have a bind or a half wrap. If the arms are behind you, please open them up for an inhale and lower fingertips back to the mat. Exhale. Pivot and turn to face the top of the mat. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Hold for the inhale. And back to down dog on the exhale. One more side to move through, yogis. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, step it through. Spin the right heel down for warrior two and rise on up. Feel for your body in space. Again, embodying the strong, fierce warrior that you are. And from your elbows to your shoulder blades, hug in towards the midline. From the elbows to the fingertips, reach out beyond you. And this can be symbolic, right? Hugging in to support yourself, to nourish your heart, your mind, your entire well-being. And reaching out can mean two things. Reaching out to ask others for support when we need it, right? Leaning on others. And also reaching out to support others when we are balanced in our root chakra, right? When we are emotionally stable, that is the opportunity that we can show up for others. So again, just checking in with your root chakra energy. Maybe coming down a little bit deeper into that left knee. Then flip the left palm, take it up and slightly back, reversing the warrior. Give a bend to the left elbow, bring the hand behind the head. Point the left elbow up towards the heavens. Right hand rests softly to the back of the thigh. Notice if the left knee is moving in, keep external rotation in the left hip. So the knee is stacking or in line with the middle of the ankle bone. One more inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Bring the left elbow to the left thigh. Right arm comes up and overhead, extended side angle. Turn the right ribs open over the left. Feel the beautiful line of energy you're creating from the pinky edge side of the right foot, moving through the outer left leg, right side of the body, through the right arm and fingers. One more breath in. Exhale, lower right fingertips down, left fingertips down. Turn the left toes out at a 45-degree angle and sit the hips down. You're turning towards the long side of the mat for Skandasana. Again, recruit those inner leg muscles, the adductors, squeezing them in together. Option to keep fingertips grounded or walk the left fingertips outside of the left toes and open the right arm wide. Remain here or maybe working towards a bind. Could be a half bind, maybe even just a quarter bind. Maybe a full bind if it's in your practice. But there's no need to force or contort yourself into a shape. If you have a wrap of sorts, please open the arms. One more inhale here. Exhale, fingertips lower to the mat. This time, straighten the left leg. Both legs are straight, and the outer edges of the feet are parallel as you face the long side of the mat. Inhale, extend the back, finding a halfway lift. Exhale, fold the torso between the legs, coming into a wide-legged fold. You're welcome to stay here, or if you have an inversion in your practice, you might lift the legs. You could move yourself to a wall for more support, into a headstand if it's in your practice, or you can simply remain here, getting a stretch, the backs of the legs. We'll take 3 more breaths wherever you are. If you are in an inversion with the legs lifted, slowly begin to return the feet to the mat. Once both feet are grounded, take another inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, take a quarter turn to the top of the mat, and you'll step the back foot up, and you'll come to a seat, bending the knees, lowering the buttocks, and from here, extend the arms forward, round the back, and slowly lower all the way down. So we're going to do a little bit of strengthening here on our backs before we start our cool down. So it's important that we, again, harness and cultivate the inner strength, and this really means tapping into our centering muscle, so our abdominals, our glutes, our quads. So we'll start with the abdominals. Please goalpost the arms out beside you so that elbows are in line with the shoulders, and the shin bones come up parallel to the mat. Knees are over the hips. Notice how the lumbar spine lifts a little away from the mat. We want to keep that natural curvature, but at the same time, feel grounded through the tailbone, the upper back, and the skull. Engage the abdominals, and on the inhale, extend the right leg forward to hover off the mat. If you feel a lot of tension in the low back, keep the knee bent and you can tap the heel down. Exhale, realign the knees. Inhale, extend left leg forward or keep the knee bent and tap the heel down. Exhale, align the knees and shins. Inhale, right leg extends forward. Exhale, come back to your supine table. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, back up. And continue at your pace. Notice if you're straining in the eyes, jaw, or neck. Try to consciously release any unnecessary tension. And try to just keep the movements within the hip and knee joints. Let's take it one more round, right and left sides. And then very slowly, once completed, plant the feet down on the mat. Lower the arms just outside of your body, palms turn down. Feet walk in towards the buttocks. Grounding evenly through the feet, slowly lift the pelvis up on the inhale, peeling up the spine as well, pressing down through the triceps. And exhale, lower down with control and precision. Inhale, lift low back, mid back, upper back. Engage the glutes. Exhale, slowly lower upper, mid, and low back. And taking these rolling bridges a few more rounds. Perhaps closing the eyes, really feeling the muscular engagement, observing the breath. Last round, and we'll hold this one for just a few more breaths. You're welcome to grab the outer edges of the mat, or you could interlace the fingers under your back. You might even roll the shoulder heads under you a little further, uplifting the chest. If you took the interlace of the hands, please release And slowly come back to the mat and just pause for a moment. And please grab your strap if you have it, or a towel or belt or whatever you're using. And you'll extend the right leg up, wrapping your prop around either the ball of the right foot or maybe the arch, and extend the right leg high. You can keep the left knee bent, or you could extend the left leg forward. Drop the shoulder blades down into the mat, and gently you might pull the leg a little bit closer in towards the chest. Think of moving the head of the right femur bone towards the top of the mat, so we're lengthening the waist, the space between the iliac crest and the floating right rib. And then we'll get a little stretch to the outer leg. So the strap will come into the left hand. Bring the right thumb into the right hip crease and move the outer right hip. Wrap it down and away from you. Keeping the right hip anchored on the mat, cross the right leg over the body. So the leg probably won't cross very far while keeping the pelvis connected to the mat. And there's also a slight internal rotation of the right toes so that they're turning towards the left shoulder. Slowly bring the leg up through center. Now the strap will come into the right hand. Left hand can set onto the top of the left hip, encouraging the left hip to stay grounded as you open the right leg externally. So now the toes are turning slightly to the right. As soon as you feel the left hip begin to lift higher than the right, that's the cue in your body to reach the right leg a little bit up so you're not externally rotating quite as far. And I find it's helpful to keep the right elbow bent and rest the tricep, the outer arm, on the earth. That gives me a little bit more stability. Right leg slowly comes up. Bend the knee to remove the prop. And you can keep the left leg straight or bend the left knee as you find half happy baby pose. So you're bending the right knee, right ankle is over the right kneecap, and you grab the outer edge of the foot, or peace fingers could grab the big toe. And again, left knee can stay bent, or to get a deeper stretch, extend the left leg forward, pressing out through the heel bone. There's a slight tuck of the chin into the chest. And if that left leg is straight, please bend the left knee, planting the left foot. Cross the right foot over the lefty corner into a figure 4 stretch. Stay here or pick up the left foot, thread the right arm under the calf, and interlace the fingers either to the back of the left thigh or around the left shin. Elongate the spine from tailbone to crown. The breath stays smooth and gentle. Very slowly release the left foot to the mat, then the right foot. Press the hand somewhere on the body and just take a moment to pause in stillness and recognize the sensations within the body. Noticing the differences in either side. And then we'll make our way into the second side. So again, grabbing your prop, loop it around the ball or the arch of the left foot and extend the leg straight up. You can either keep the right foot planted on your mat or extend the right leg forward and reach out through the heel bone. As you plug the upper arms into their shoulder sockets, actively reach the head of the left femur bone towards the top of the mat. And simultaneously, you're creating the opposing action of pulling the prop and the left leg in towards the body. Noticing that deep stretch to the back of the leg. Maybe that stretch moving up into the calf and the back of the ankle even. And then bring the left leg back over the left hip. The prop will come into the right hand and the left thumb will come into the left hip crease. So gently nudge the thumb against the hip crease to create more space between the iliac crest, which is the top of the hip bone, and the left floating rib. Internally rotate the left toes so that you're turning them slightly towards the right shoulder head. And without letting that left hip leave the mat, slowly cross the left leg over the midline to the right. And again, that leg probably isn't coming over very far. It's more important that we keep stability and integrity within the pelvis. And we're getting a nice opening and stretch into the left IT band. Slowly bring the leg back up. Now the strap will come, or prop, will come into the left hand and the right hand atop the right hip. And that hand just serves as a little reminder that we want to keep both hips level. Externally rotate the left toes this time, so you're turning them slightly to the left, and begin to open the left leg out laterally. Again, you might bend the left elbow, setting the tricep down to give you a little bit of support. Engage the abdominals to assist you as you return the left leg up through center. Bend the knee, remove the prop, and give a bend to the right knee as well, planting the right foot as you find half happy baby on the left side. Left ankle stacks over left kneecap. And then your choice to either keep the right knee bent or re-extend the leg for a deeper stretch into the inner thighs and left hamstring. With the inhalation, feel the breath moving into the chest, expanding the ribs, maybe even moving down into the abdominals. And with the exhalation, slowly and gently, without force, pull the left knee down towards the mat, avoiding the left rib cage. If the right leg is straight, re-bend the knee one more time and cross the left foot over the right knee corner for a figure four. The left hand can press against the left thigh, noticing the stretch into the outer glute and hip. And if you desire more intensity, pick up the right foot, thread the left arm under the calf, and interlace the fingers to the back of the right thigh or around the right shin bone. And if the low back is peeling away from the mat, check in with that. The focus here should be on keeping integrity in the spine, having extension. So that means the tailbone is rooted. So if that low back is starting to elevate, then please release the fold a bit so there's less hip flexion and the legs will float a little further away from the chest. Take your time to release the shape, and once more plant both feet on the mat. Allow the inner knees to knock together and the hands rest lovingly on the body. Notice the state of your physical body, the state of your mind and the quality of your thoughts. And notice your heart space and what you're feeling in this moment. You're welcome to remain in this shape for final resting pose, Shavasana, or you're welcome to extend the legs forward in front of you. Hands can stay on the body, or you might open the arms out wide, turning the palms up. Unfurl the brows, soften around the eyes. Notice the space between the upper and bottom teeth. Relax the inside of your throat. And release any remaining tension in your body. Surrender the weight of your body into the support of the earth. Once more, welcoming this balance of support and surrender. With each inhale, breathe in the nourishing, grounding energy from Mother Earth. With each exhale, release and let go of unnecessary stressors, fears, and worries. You are held, you are safe, you are protected. Please allow your next inhalation to be a little bit deeper and fuller than your last. I welcome you to audibly exhale out your mouth, letting out a little sigh. Feel into your fingers and your toes as you welcome in small movements. When you're ready, hug the knees in towards the chest. Roll to one side in fetal pose. Very gently and with ease, please lift yourself up to Sukhasana, easy seat. Cross up the shins, and let's just take one more opportunity to ground ourselves. So please plant the palms in front of you, connecting to the earth, and close the eyes. When we are grounded and strong within ourselves, we adopt a much calmer, more centered perspective. So when there is commotion and chaos in your external world, remember your resources. Ground your body to the earth. Reestablish your slow, rhythmic breath to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, getting out of the fight or flight response. Drink a tall glass of water. Pray, meditate. Use whatever tools you have in your toolbox to support you in those moments of angst and overwhelm. Keeping the eyes closed, please lift the torso upright, unite the palms at heart center. Inhale, lift the thumbs to third eye, tilt the head back as we honor the divine light that dwells within us, within each other. It exists above us, below us, and all around us. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Namaste. Thanks, yogis. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you see my new classes when they come out. Take care of you, and I'll see you on the mat the next time.